Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States. Each year, 610,000 people die in this country from heart disease. That's 1 in every 4 deaths.
Currently, an average of 4,000 Americans are diagnosed with diabetes every single day.
By the year 2020, 3/4 of Americans will be either obese or overweight.
30% of all new cancer cases this year will be food-related. This means that there are over 500,000 people that would not have to hear the words, "You have cancer," if they just adopted healthier eating habits. So what do all these facts have in common? It's food. Food's role in society has changed drastically. Where once it was health and fuel, it is now making us sick and destroying us.
A recent Pew study asked Americans what most kept them up at night. They ranked healthcare at number 3, behind only terrorism and crime, and ahead of unemployment and poverty. Clearly, there's an opportunity for food companies here. So given these facts, we want to ask you a question today. Why can't grocery be the healthcare providers of the future? It's a question we should all ask ourselves. In fact, we need to ask ourselves. My teammates and I are here today to tell you why. They are Cassie Martin from Fred Meyer, Richie Betancourt from Dean Foods, Isabel Gajon from Ralph's, and Aaron Miller of Earth Friendly Products. My name's Sam Foltz, and during our class here at USC, we named ourselves the Healthness Partners, as you might be able to tell by the jackets. But on a more serious note, we're here today because there's a huge problem in our society, and our industry is becoming the root of the symptoms. In 431 BC, Hippocrates said it best, "Let food be thy medicine, let medicine be thy food." We've drifted from such a simple solution, and the concept of medicine has become so convoluted. So our message today is about health and wellness, but it's also about organizational change. Admittedly, we're asking you to fix a huge problem, and we know it's not going to get fixed immediately, but it needs to start now, and it needs to start from the inside out. We want to leave you with some ideas that you can bring back to your companies and plant the seeds of change. And that starts with the roots, or the buy-in that you're going to need from your C-suite and executive teams. Once you have that, next comes the growth and engagement of your associates, who are your greatest assets, to be catalysts of change within your company. Finally, once you have that, you can branch out to customers in a profitable way. And technology makes this all possible. Our industry needs to take a deeper look at these issues so we can devise meaningful, relevant, but most importantly, profitable solutions. We'll show you that we shouldn't be asking you, why can't grocery be the healthcare providers of the future? We should be asking you, why shouldn't they?
Retailers, do you have a chief wellness officer in your company? Have you thought about adding one? If the answer is no, well, then unfortunately you're already behind. CPG companies, are you tired of spending ridiculous amounts to add healthy products to your portfolios to maintain profitability and market share in declining market segments? If the answer is yes, and unfortunately we know that it is, please listen carefully. We've explained that this change is something that needs to come from within your own organizations. And what we want you to do is go back to your companies and have your best minds look at health and wellness and how it can be a source of profitability and competitive advantage in your own business. This really starts with having at least one full-time employee on your staff working on solving this issue, be it a wellness manager, a chief wellness officer, or ideally both. This isn't something that we can just continue to put on the plates of an already overburdened HR group any longer. It simply is too important and the stakes are too high to make it just another bullet point on somebody else's already long to-do list. When you look at your org chart at your company, why do we feel that it's so natural to have a risk manager, but not to have a wellness manager? Isn't wellness a risk that needs to be managed? We would say that it is. It's a risk to our health, it's a risk to our society, and it's a risk to our bottom lines. So our ask for you today is, by the time that you leave this room, to have someone in mind that you can look at in your organization for this position. And if you can't think of someone by the time you leave today, then you need to start your search immediately. Once you have your team in place, then you can build up your roots, your team, and that's really about getting to work with developing your associates and building them up. We want them to be advocates and examples for the type of change that we want to build within our own companies and that we want to bring into our companies when we interface with our customers. This is so important because putting together these plans requires a lot of work and investment by these employees. And so you have to really choose the right people to do it. And that's really about making sure that you select them from the beginning because they're going to be the champions for this change within your organization. And you got to choose them carefully, no pressure. So what we want you to do is ultimately reward your associates for making healthier living choices, whether that's eating healthier, losing weight, or getting more active. We want you to lay out a roadmap that's clear and easy to understand and provide clear incentives for each of these things that are simple for everyone. Next, what you need to do is help people help themselves. This is really about believing in your people, building them up so that they can have the tools and resources to feel empowered and to take personal responsibility for their own health and well-being. This not only benefits the employees themselves, but it benefits their families, their coworkers, their communities, and your companies. And finally, and this is so important, when you design these programs, make sure that you only design them around positive reinforcement, never negative consequences. Because reforming your lifestyle to one of health and wellness is really hard. It's challenging, and we're all human. We make mistakes. We need to remember that our goal here is to build up and empower our associates to be the advocates for this change. And there are touch points with our consumers that we're trying to reach. They're the ones who are going to go out there and share this message. And the better that they feel about themselves and the more passionate they are about these programs, the better our chance of success when we branch out to these customers. Ideally, what we would like is for our customers not even to have to be told about these programs, but they're going to come to us and ask about them because they're going to see that change in our associates. They're going to feel it in their communities, and they're going to want to be a part of it.
Associate wellness programs work. It's a proven fact. In January of this year, the University of Illinois published a study that had examined the 50 million participants in employer-run wellness programs. What it found was that every active participant saved their company $1,500 versus a non-participant. How many people do you have in your company? If you have 5,000, that's $7.5 million a year you save. For every $1 invested in a wellness program, you reap a $6 return on investment in lowered operational costs and absenteeism, which we know is a problem. But the best part about all of this is that you get to see the associate in the program, and the most important part of that is that the associate has to be motivated to move in the right direction, right? That's where rewards come in. So let's imagine this. Every associate in your company who has, that's signed up for your insurance plan gets a card. It has your logo in one corner and your provider's logo on the other. It's also attached to your company's health portal. So it tracks their benefits, it tracks their HSA output, whatever, but it also tracks what programs and plans they're in. So every time that they participate in a program or hit a target, they get a reward banked into that card that they then can turn around and use to purchase healthy foods, nutritional supplements, and other items to move them in a healthful direction. The best part about this program is that the insurance companies will pay you to do this because healthier associates means they're giving out less money in claims, which they in turn give back to you in the form of rewards and lower premiums. The beauty of this program is that you have people coming into your stores purchasing high-margin items. CPG partners, I bet you'd love to provide those high-margin items for us, right? But in the end, really, the most important thing to us is that your company will see less instances of heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and cancer in all of your companies.
So far, we've heard about company buy-in and associate programs as a means to create a healthier culture within our businesses. But in order to move forward and take it to the next level and really branch out to our customers, we identified that wellness centers are really the gateway to deliver a different customer experience for everybody in our communities. The goal is to incentivize our customers and support their health through a program that is innovative, motivating, and proactive. We understand that holistic programs may vary in investment and commitment. So today we won't give you a one-size-fits-all answer, but rather encourage you to visualize one that fits your business model the best. During our research, we realized and we learned that In-store wellness clinics can deliver weekly higher revenues than bakeries and seafood departments. That is something that we definitely need to look forward to. A few of the reasons also why in-store wellness clinics should be part of the solution to the food and health problem that we have been describing include enhanced customer connection, greater competitive advantage, and increased customer traffic. Many of the challenges that our companies have nowadays revolve around being able to connect to our customers. But with the technology of today, social media and email make it easier and faster for businesses to be able to reach customers. But there is a huge difference between reaching a customer and connecting with them. So being able to provide a better experience for our customers and a better experience for our companies is possible if we provide offers that reward our customers and incentivize them to create behaviors that are going to generate profit for us. We also know that competitive advantage is that very thing that distinguishes us from our competitors, and it makes us better than the next person. By providing a health and wellness center within our stores, we will be targeting one of the very needs that our customers are screaming out loud they need help with. You know who your customers are, and you know how we can make their lives better. By providing proactive solutions to things such as diabetes and obesity, we will be targeting and relating to those very needs. However, there's one important thing that we need to remember. When we think about competition, it's not just us as similar companies in this room. We need to consider anything outside of this room that our customer can turn to in order to fulfill needs that we have the power to fulfill as well. Finally, we understand that online retailing is still important for our business, but we don't want to discount the power of our brick and mortar stores. They're still alive, and they're going to be alive for a very long time. And the best way for us to connect with our customers is through the health and wellness needs that they have right now. That way, we will remain relevant to them. We also realize that this quest to health and wellness is a long one, and many of you have already tried traveling down this path. In the future, what is going to truly make a difference is how we utilize our human capital to really reach out our customers. In addition to all the advantages that I just mentioned, there are many tangible benefits that all the parties involved can take if we do go down this road.
So we've read dozens of case studies that match what we're asking you to do here today. From South Africa to Ohio, what we've seen is that they work and they're also profitable. On the small scale, we've seen businesses that use current floor plans and existing associates to have 15% sales increases and huge leaps in customer and associate satisfaction. Something as small as designating and training somebody to be a health coach within your store totally changes the perception of your company. Then there are the big innovators, the ones that are trying to knock it out of the park. These are the companies that are investing in health and wellness centers and clinical services right inside the grocery store. From what we've seen, these companies are receiving 50% margins and a full return on initial investment in like 3 to 4 years. But the best part, the part that blew us all away, was that every single one of these case studies showed that they increased their customer traffic inside their stores, something we need drastically in the age of Instacart and Amazon. So, retailers, wouldn't you love to have some of the numbers I just talked about? CPG partners, how well would your products fit in this new paradigm? Good question, right? Another good question is, how does this all work now when it never has before? There's a really simple answer for that. It's technology.
Arthur C. Clarke, author of 2001: A Space Odyssey, said any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Technology serves as the nutrients that promote growth. It plays a crucial role in consumer decision-making and the ability of retailers and manufacturers to meet today's consumers' changing needs. It addresses areas such as personalization, education, and information sharing. Advances in integrated technology are reshaping the health management landscape. Consumers are choosing to use technology in a proactive manner. After all, it's proven advances in digital usage accelerate the transformation towards preventative health. What if there was a way to house all of an individual's health needs in a single digital portal? This tool would have the ability to connect critical touchpoints that today interact separately. Picture this. You, like 90% of Americans, operate a smartphone. You take out your smartphone, you click on the Healthness Partners app, and you open the Physician tab. It shows last week's doctor's appointment, where you were given a diagnosis and a treatment plan. Next, you jump over to the Pharmacy tab, and you see that your prescription's updated, and it's ready to be picked up. Next, as you walk into your local grocery store, you open up the Nutrition tab, and it shows a personalized diet plan that is linked to items in that store that are connected to your rewards account. Finally, you jump over to the Exercise tab, and you see a recap of your morning workout. Hopefully, you're starting to see the future of technology in the health space. Sound a little far-fetched? Actually, it is not. There's currently a revolutionary and progressive company that is on a mission to change the way America eats through technology. Let's take a look at this example.
What will it take to change the way America eats? What will it take? Something inspiring, right? Something regular people can get excited about, and health insurers can provide for their members. So, what's our carrot? Hey, how about greens? What if people could save more money on healthier food, where they already do their shopping? What if technology could unite the top food brands and grocery stores to discount the healthiest foods, and all consumers had to do was scan a card? No coupons, no downloads, no kidding. It's called Healthy Savings. And some of the most progressive health insurers in America are joining this powerful, practical consortium of change and offering this card to their members. It exposes their brand to millions of consumers, and insurers are already seeing results. So are their members, especially when the Fresh Produce program is added to Healthy Savings, allowing people to buy fruits and veggies at a discount. Health insurers and their members call it win-win. Working together, we have the power to do something amazing, to literally change the way America eats. Are you in?
Pretty exciting, right? Well, let's talk about some results from this program. Healthy Savings has a 5 times higher engagement rate than other health and wellness programs. To date, its users have saved $1.5 million on healthy items at local grocery stores. Their users purchase produce 70% more times than a non-user. And oh, by the way, the world's largest retailer just signed up last week to be a participant in this program. One especially impacted member said, and I quote, "I lost 50 pounds. It saved my life." Sounds to me like food truly being thy medicine. Our team have talked about health incentives and opportunities that can transform companies through internal associates. Imagine rolling these programs out to your consumers as you ask them to join you on the wellness journey. This would be a true game changer in how consumers view your brand. By developing an external, holistic wellness solution, you would begin to offer one of the most meaningful consumer programs, one that helps consumers live longer, healthier lives.
So, why can't grocery be the healthcare providers of the future? We talked about taking these ideas and planting the seed, and Aaron talked about the first step, which is the buy-in that you're going to need on an executive level. Cassie showed us how rewards encourage the engagement and growth of your associates, and Isabel showed us how to branch out to customers in a profitable way, and Richie just showed us how technology makes this all possible. We want to challenge you to be first to market on this. Let's help in shifting the perception of food companies to health and wellness companies. And we can leverage what we already have, our stores, our associates, our knowledge. Why do we only get together once a year and talk shop? We should grow together, right? Wall Street will say that the writing's on the wall and that Amazon's going to be our demise. Let's show Wall Street why they're wrong and that food companies can be innovative and progressive. So in the end, our goal is simple. We want to come back here in the future and sit where you're sitting today and look at the WAFC not as the Western Association of Food Chains, but rather the Wellness Association of Food Chains, with the slogan, "Let food be thy medicine." It has a nice ring to it. Before we end, as some of you may have noticed, there were seeds on your chairs and tables when you came back from break. And we left those there as a reminder to take these ideas back with you to your companies and plant the seeds of change yourself. So thank you all so much for listening, and we'd love to hear your questions.
Hey, sorry to keep getting into this privacy thing, but Judge John Bates in Washington, D.C. just overturned a federal ruling that employers working with EEOC and ADA are not allowed to coerce their employees into signing up for wellness programs. Do you see this becoming a problem where employees feel like they have to sign up and turn over their health information and it could be used against them?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So one of the big challenges that we face in this space is just all the regulations around HIPAA laws and privacy and all of that information. And while we are wearing doctor's coats, we just play them on TV, and we don't expect any of you to all be doctors when you're coming up with these solutions as well. So it's really important to just understand that we're trying to get people on board and buy into this change because they want to, not because they're forced to, because hopefully this is something that applies to all of us. I mean, health is a concern for all of us, regardless of our age, demographic, background. It's something that applies to all of us equally, and if people can see the actual change that they're getting and see the savings that they're getting, we would hope that they would just want to participate on their own. So.
Great job, guys. Question. Can you explain how the Healthy Savings Program works for a manufacturer standpoint?
Yeah, I'll take that one. So through our research, we actually had a call and did some meetings with the national director from this program as we learned more about it. And we listened intently. They were very good about presenting information and just explaining what the program is. So from a vendor standpoint, you basically have to qualify that you're healthy. They have parameters that they use that are universal or national guidelines. You sign up, you're qualified. From there, they would take it where you would be in 2-week increments. You would be allowed to offer a promotion on a certain product, and from there, that product will be offered. They said there would be no crossover from adjoining categories. So for 2 weeks, if you offered 50 cents as a manufacturer, it would go on their website for 50 cents, or for 2 weeks you would run on that, and you're only on the hook as a vendor when that redemption comes through. There's no processing fees. They're really trying to collaborate and put together the insurers, the grocers, and the manufacturers together to truly help in this epidemic or in this problem. They are a very very socially minded company, and they're looking to do what's right versus profitable. But it does work to be profitable, and when collaborating, it does both.
There's so many different wellness programs out there. Why is it that these programs typically struggle?
Yeah, sure. So we looked at several examples of the programs that struggled. And really the issue is that those companies didn't allocate enough time or investment into the whole holistic wellness idea, whereas the profitable part that comes at the end, you can't have that until you have fully engaged, inspired associates. And you can't really have that until you get that buy-in in C-suite and have a chief wellness officer, a chief medical officer. And too often companies speed down that track without having those 3 tiers, the ones we picked, really concrete and locked in, and it sort of falls out from underneath them. So it's important to take your time, invest money and time where it's important, and don't rush yourself.
All right. Thank you all.